Has Lou Elizondo had his own UFO encounter? It sure sounds like it. Stay tuned, this is fascinating stuff. Before I get too far into it, please hit like, please subscribe, share on social media, try to spread the word about what we're doing here, and as I'm going through it, please comment below and let me know what you think. This is from a series that I call Parsing Lou, where I take little snippets that Lou has said in various interviews and examine them in greater detail. Okay, here's what Lou had to say about whether he had his own UFO encounter or encounters.
Has anything wild ever happened to you? Like, did you ever have an experience as like a child or something, or did anything happen to you that like ever inspired you to like, oh my goodness, look at what's happening? You know, I'm gonna be getting into this position. There's stuff I've always wanted to know. I mean, have you ever had an experience? I guess is what I'm asking. Pre ATIP.
Um, Boy, uh, that's probably a question better asked literally in one of our garages while we're drinking copious amounts of alcohol. I've always avoided talking about my personal experiences because I'm not sure at the end of the day. First of all, they may not be relevant and they may not even be valid because they're my own personal observations and experiences. And I think it's important when we're having a conversation like this on a topic like this that we avoid the temptation of superimposing our own personal bias and our own experiences over the collection of data, because what happens, we're human beings, and what's going to happen is that data is going to be tainted, it's going to be jaded, even subconsciously, even if we don't even think it's happening. There's a reason why in a jury you sequester a jury away and you don't let them watch the news or the media or anything, because it will subconsciously influence their decision making process. And so for that exact reason, I don't want to jade the jury. And as I've said before, my job is very simple. It's to collect the truth and speak the truth. That's it, as an investigator. And then present
Right.
that information to a jury. And in this case, you guys are the jury. Your audience is the jury. The American people are the jury. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what I think something is. What matters is what the facts say. And
Hmm.
what matters is what you think about those facts, not Luis Elizondo. And so, I've always abstained from talking about personal experiences as they relate to this, only because um, as tempting as the offer may be, I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. I don't really, frankly, give a damn if somebody believes me or not. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing this to get the facts out, and
Yeah.
then you make up your own mind. You make up your own decision what those facts mean. I'm not going to lead you down some preconceived narrative, some path where oh, the great Oracle Lou has spoken. That's horseshit. That's not what I'm trying to do. Excuse my language.
Well, a lot of
Uh,
people would react that way, though.
it's yeah, well, because cults of personality and this career field is full of them. You don't need another one of those.
Yeah.
You need to make up your own mind. you need
Yeah.
you need to be armed with the information, and then you decide what path it is you want to go down and what makes sense for you.
Okay, I don't know about that, Lou. I think that you have become your own cult of personality anyway. It wouldn't change a thing if you revealed your own encounter or encounters with the phenomenon. I think that would possibly even strengthen what you have to say. At any rate, people would love to know what your experience was. People take what you have to say very seriously, and they would love to know the specifics of your encounter. So please, Lou, if you listen to this or if anybody in your orbit listens to this, please encourage Lou to share whatever it is he has to share personally. Again, he's already become his own cult of personality, whether he shares it or not. There's no way that he's going to not be the center of a cult of personality. Sorry, Lou, that ship has sailed. This is really interesting timing coming upon this interview for me, because I have just watched a presentation by Preston Dennett, the great UFO researcher and experiencer. Just a couple days ago, he came out with a video. I mean, heck, it may have been yesterday, very, very recently, where he was talking about the UFO researcher's disease, where, according to Preston Dennett, who, again, is a phenomenal researcher, many UFO researchers have encountered UFOs. Some encountered UFOs before they became researchers, and that prompted their journey of researching and trying to understand the phenomenon, while others, it appears that after they started publishing and talking about UFOs publicly, that the intelligence behind the phenomenon contacted them directly, thus involving them in the phenomenon, and some of those experiences were ongoing. Preston Dennett himself had a UFO encounter before he became a researcher, and those encounters seem to be ongoing, possibly until the present day. So is Lou part of that? Did his early experience, whatever that was, have anything to do with his later becoming the head of AATIP? He has said in various interviews that when he was asked to become the head of AATIP, or when he was interviewed for that position originally, they asked him what his thoughts on UFOs were, and he says, "I don't think about UFOs." And they liked that response. He was neutral, it wasn't something he was into, and so that probably helped him get his position. But was that an honest response if he had indeed had encounters before? And possibly the people in charge knew that, because they do seem to know a lot of these encounters. The MyLabs experiments, or the MyLabs phenomenon, where the government will abduct people who have already been abducted by aliens because they want to know what is going on. At least that seems to be the case in many of these encounters. So the government is fully aware of many of the abductions that are going on and many of the contact experiences that are going on. So were they aware of Lou's experience, and did that have anything to do with him becoming the head of AATIP? And when he said he didn't think about UFOs, was that an honest answer? Maybe it was. Maybe he had an experience in his past and he put it in his past and moved on with his life. At any rate, a fascinating response from Lou. I really wanted to bring it to your attention. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about all of this? And if you've liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and if you do, the bell next to it to be notified of future videos. I now have a Twitter profile and a Facebook page. Those links are below. And if you want to support this channel, if you want to buy me a cup of coffee, that would be great. There's also a PayPal link below. Until next time, Cosmic Road out.